Today is being recognized as Nelson Mandela Day, and this year he would have been 100 years old, having been born in 1918. More on that later as we celebrate the life of the first black South African president. Hi, I'm Theodore Henry, and today on the pages of Jamaica magazine, we'll also be looking at some of the projects being undertaken in the Transport and Mining Ministry, as well as the work of the Ministry of Local Government and Community Development in expanding and developing our market spaces. So stay with us as I take you through the pages.
I'm sure my neighbors hear the screams and cries.
I'm sure by now they've seen the bruises through my oversized glasses.
Can they tell I'm depressed when we speak?
Are they counting my frequent days off from work?
Domestic violence is any pattern of behavior used by an individual to maintain control or power over another. Domestic violence is not just physical, it can also be verbal. If you're in a relationship where you are being abused or know of anyone, get out and speak up. Report domestic violence by calling 119 or the nearest police station. Get out before someone puts you out.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, July 18. The Zones of Special Operations, ZOSOs, in Mount Salem and Denham Town are having a spin-off positive effect on national security across the island. Prime Minister Andrew Holness made that assertion yesterday as he successfully moved 2 resolutions in Parliament to extend both ZOSOs by a further 60 days.
There are growing assurances of the permanency of peace which the residents of these affected communities have been perennially yearning. That peace, Mr. Speaker, is also having a positive impact on the entire country. As a point of fact, there are overall reductions in homicides, and particularly firearm-related incidents.
The extensions begin after the current operation expires on September 4 for Mount Salem and August 16 for Denham Town. This will be the 6th extension for the Mount Salem zone and the 5th for Denham Town. The House of Representatives also approved an extension to the state of public emergency in St. James, which would otherwise come to an end on August 6. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has pledged central government support for strengthening accountability systems at local authorities across the island. Asserting that local government institutions have a direct impact on citizens' quality of life, Mr. Holness says his administration will ensure that they operate at the highest standards. This, he says, is not limited to applying sanctions against those municipalities which are found to have mismanaged their responsibilities.
Accountability goes through several phases. The ultimate phase is sanction. That if something goes wrong in the administration of the delegated authority that you have an obligation to report, but you also have a duty to correct and to prevent the reoccurrence of the error or maladministration.
Prime Minister Holness was speaking Tuesday at the start of a 3-day local governance conference in St. James. Meanwhile, Portfolio Minister Desmond McKenzie says the conference will sharpen local government representatives' management skills. Mr. McKenzie says it's critical for municipal corporations to be exposed to best practices, as they are responsible for 75% of the services offered on the island.
We are responsible for roads, minor water supply, garbage collection, street lights, cemeteries, public recreation, markets, butcher license, you name it. All of these services require the input of local government.
The 3-day local governance conference is being held under the theme, Strengthening Responsiveness and Accountability Within the Local Governance Framework. It covers a range of sessions including disaster response, relief management, solid waste disposal, finance, and municipal authorities' impact on the national growth agenda. The state, through the Minister of Local Government, has apologized to St. James residents who have been impacted by a fire at the retirement landfill. The fire, which started on Saturday, is believed to be the work of arsonists. Residents of communities surrounding the landfill have complained of smoke nuisance. Minister Desmond McKenzie says the 3-day local governance conference, now on in St. James, will be used to improve local authorities' response to issues such as this. He apologized for the inconvenience and pledged to do more to secure the island's landfills.
The government through NPM, through the National Solid Waste Management Authority, has taken the necessary steps. And the CEO of the National Solid Waste Management Authority is here, and I want to commend him and the staff for the work that they have undertaken, including the Jamaica Fire Brigade, to bring the fire under control.
Government will be spending $40,000 to provide additional tablets to teachers involved in its science, technology, engineering, and mathematics STEM program.
So ensure that the next generation is equipped with knowledge and the means to apply STEM. And it goes back to what I started out with. For us to achieve that objective, we have to ensure that we equip our teachers to be able to transmit knowledge.
The Science and Technology Minister says the Universal Service Fund has approved financial support for the STEM tablet project. He was speaking at Tuesday's opening ceremony of the Excellence in STEM Experimental Education Workshop. The 5-day workshop is being held under the theme Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics, a New Pedagogical Approach. It aims to equip educators with the latest teaching-related tools and skills to foster a love for STEM subjects among their students. And finally, 3,000 young persons are to participate in the Ministry of Local Government and Community Development's Youth Summer Employment Program. Portfolio Minister Desmond McKenzie says 500 more youth are being engaged in the second year of the program, which will be launched on August 9. The young people will be contracted to conduct audits of streetlights and trade license permits over a 4-week period.
Based on the audit that was done last year, we were in a better position to argue our case with the Jamaica Public Service Company as it relates to the amount of streetlights that are working across the country.
Each councillor will be able to recommend 15 individuals, while mayors will propose 25 persons for the program. The ministry's summer program falls under the Housing Opportunity Production and Employment HOPE program, which provides educational and job opportunities for young people aged 18 to 24 years old. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
Cancer, stress, high blood pressure. Guard yourself against these potentially deadly conditions by eating healthy. Give your body long life with foods such as low-fat milk, dried and fresh peas and beans, unsalted nuts and seeds, fresh vegetables, fruits and coconut water, and eliminate processed seasonings such as seasoning salt, soy sauces and ketchup. When it comes to meats, remember to remove the skin to reduce the intake of fats and oils. Meats should also be baked, steamed, grilled, or roasted. Fish is also a preferred protein option. To eat healthy, fill your body with a variety of foods from all the food groups. And remember, eat at a slow pace and in small bites to help aid digestion. This helps to maintain a healthy, balanced, and nutritious diet, strengthening your body to ward off illness and prolong life.
The Market Rehabilitation Project forms part of government's drive for economic development. Under the plan, market spaces are taking on a new look. Roofs are being repaired, along with properly made stalls, improved flooring, sufficient parking, and so much more. See for yourself.
It is a cultural paradox in the country of bounty. The land's fruits, fresh and nutritious, sold within spaces, too many of which are eyesores. The Ministry of Local Government and Community Development is changing that, delivering market spaces that are as appealing as the produce they display.
most of our markets are in a deplorable condition. These markets are not conducive for vending or for persons to ply their trade.
That is slowly changing. Repaired roofs, properly made stalls, improved flooring, ample parking, and concessionaire shops are taking shape in markets across the island.
It is the obligation of the government to ensure that we provide the necessary resources.
The Market Rehabilitation Project forms part of government's drive for economic development. This is where producers and consumers connect directly as they haggle and hustle to make the sale or get the most pounds for their dollars. And in the midst, people talk, socialize, and stock their food baskets with high-quality local produce. It is a system worth preserving and maximizing to serve more of the population's needs.
The concept of not just having a market that caters for ground provision and haberdashery use, to have a market that will also create other services in the same complex.
Among the markets under repair is the Maypen facility in Clarendon. It has been expanded with modernized sheds and containers to replace wood stalls. $3 million was also spent to renovate the once leaking roof.
We recently did some work on the roof. It used to leak very badly. And now, after the works, I'm now hearing from the vendors that is good again.
Where the people them sell the clothes, it used to leak. And the mayor got it fixed. They are comfortable right now because they are not wetting up no more.
We are in the process of putting in a rainwater harvesting system, channeling the water into a used tank in the corner where we can use all of that water to clean the market. There's another area there that we intend to cover and have it properly rendered, so that food vending can take place there as well.
In Hanover, the Hopewell Market will be refurbished at a cost of $20 million. The entrance will get a facelift, while the roof, electrical system, plumbing, stalls, flooring, and bathrooms will be repaired. In St. Andrew, the Stony Hill Market will face $30 million of refurbishing work. Users will soon have renovated bathrooms, an improved entrance, a better roof, and concrete stalls. The Papine Market, also in St. Andrew, will be repaired after recent fire damage. A new Falmouth Market is being built at a cost of $300 million through a partnership with the Port Authority of Jamaica. And the Charles Garden Market in St. James will be refurbished at a cost of $15 million. Work has also started on the Port Maria Market in St. Mary with a budget of over $55 million and an April 2019 completion date. While those markets are being upgraded, others have already received their facelifts. Phase 1 of the Clarkstown Market in Trelawney, which includes a new transportation center, was recently completed. Phase 2 is now underway at a cost of $20 million. And if anybody is carrying their ackee to the Linstead Market these days, a $12 million investment means there should be no electrical short circuit taking place.
When we spend the money to upgrade and to make the markets into an acceptable position, I am going to challenge our vendors to utilize the markets once we have undertaken the necessary repairs.
There are over 50 active markets in the country, showcasing produce that are pound for pound, among the best in the world. The local government ministry is ensuring that these facilities are of equally high standard.
Jamaica Social Investment Fund, JSIF, celebrating over 20 years of investment in community development. JSIF has forged relationships with international funding partners as well as private and public sector entities. Let us continue to invest to reduce vulnerabilities. Let us build our social capital and resilient infrastructures to ensure full participation in Vision 2030. JSIF, investing for community development.
The Ministry of Transport and Mining has been undertaking big initiatives for the year, and the work continues. Catch the highlights in the upcoming feature.
A new day is dawning on transport and mining.
By land, sea and air, it's an exciting time for the transport sector. The responsible ministry is conducting a network of plans to return public passenger train service to the Jamaican landscape. Another vehicle for transporting people and goods may also re-emerge.
Interestingly, I have asked the Jamaica Railway to examine the feasibility of putting back tracks in our streets in Kingston to enable trams or streetcars on the roads and to network with the JUTC and franchise holders to truly create a multimodal solution to mass transit within our capital city.
The Jamaica Urban Transit Company is itself making dynamic moves. Free Wi-Fi on buses, CCTV cameras, and a vehicle tracking and maintenance monitoring system.
This system, by reducing idling, can save approximately $125 million per year.
Order is one of the fundamental markers of a modern transport system.
Let me warn motorists who try to bribe motor vehicle examiners. I am asking them to stop it. We have started some undercover sting operations with the police. It is proposed to complete the discussion with the Island Traffic Authority to have a Transport Authority inspector seated at the depots to certify and issue commercial license. Soon, for a fitness certificate to be printed, your vehicles must be present on the compound within a special geofenced area in order for the machine to sense the vehicle. If it is not there, the machine will not issue a fitness certificate. People should be allowed to design and craft their own routes and then apply for it to be registered. We want to establish a city taxi system that allows taxis to operate within city limits. We want to increase the limits on route taxis to 40 kilometers.
Even as the ministry takes aim at opening all routes island-wide, public safety is not being abandoned.
The Transport Authority will be developing a free taxi locator and safety application for smartphone holders. All taxis must be fitted with a stipulated vehicle locator that must always be on. Drivers and owners must update our database within 2 weeks of a change of address, change of color of vehicle, or any relevant changes. No driver will get a badge if he or she is a rapist, child molester, gunman, thief, or if they are convicted. We believe that these proposals must form the basis of a period of discussion with our stakeholders to get their input so that we can finally improve the system and make this into an industry and not into a hustle.
Some truths: 90% of the world's trade is done by ship. Jamaica is uniquely positioned along the path of major shipping vessels. Working at sea requires international certification and pays big. Only about 3,000 persons work within Jamaica's maritime sector.
The absence of critical legislation is one of the factors holding us back. We intend to, within the next 8 months, take some bills to Parliament.
The Caribbean Maritime University and Hartrust NTA will also be certifying Jamaicans to work in the international shipping industry.
This will clear the way for shipping companies to employ more Jamaicans, not only as officers, but as crew.
Travel by air is also poised to reach greater heights. New air traffic towers are being erected at the Sangster and Ian Fleming airports, and Ian Fleming is among several aerodromes being upgraded. The Airports Authority of Jamaica is also seeking a partner to help set up an internal airline, while the Norman Manley International Airport divestment advances.
And if all goes well, we plan to have this asset divested by the end of this calendar year.
Divestment is also still on the table for the government-owned Cool 97 FM radio station, but not before ongoing upgrading work improves its stock. Mining is Jamaica's second largest foreign exchange earner and a major employer. But it faces external challenges like the threat to Windalca's Yuatan plant from U.S. government sanctions on its Russian-based owner, UC Rusal.
We are consulting with the U.S. government, the Russian embassy, and UC Rusal. We have also moved to protect the interests of our citizens and their assets. We have revoked the mining permits around some of the lands at Kirkvine.
The ministry is also facing down internal threats to Jamaica's mining future through interventions like a bauxite reserve land bank.
The effect of this is that lands that have reserves, we will not allow any development.
But mining success is not to come at the expense of the environment or Jamaicans. So the reclamation of mined-out bauxite lands is a priority. So is restoring land titles to people who have been relocated to make way for mining operations.
A land titling task force has been established for the industry, and I'm going to co-chair it. I'm going to drive that, Mr. Speaker.
But the ultimate mission is to get the benefits of mining into the hands and pockets of more Jamaicans.
We will be opening a mining school to train managers, supervisors, and workers in all aspects of mining management. I have instructed that the government's holding in the Clarendon Alumina Partners CAP and the Jamaica Bauxite Mining Limited be merged into one entity. I will then seek Cabinet's permission to sell to the Jamaican people shares via the Jamaica Stock Exchange. Exciting days are ahead.
As consumers, we're buying into doing business online, some more than others. But it's important that we all know the importance of protecting our personal information on the web. Watch as we provide you with some tips on how to do just that.
Choose strong passwords. A lot of us reuse our password and we use easy what we call soft passwords. You know, the name of your child, your date of birth. We encourage consumers to choose passwords that are complex, include characters, numbers, and symbols in your password, and no less than 8 characters. The other precaution is to control access to your machine. That includes don't leave your device open on the table. So your smartphone or your computer, lock the screen. Very important because somebody can easily access your data that way. The other precaution is to protect your sensitive data. So identity theft is real. And it's pretty easy for an actor with criminal intent to get your private, to create an identity of you. So they can go on your Facebook page or your LinkedIn or any social media site and grab your information, your name and other information, and create a profile of you in a different scenario. In some cases, they can actually go in other jurisdictions, they can use the social security number and actually apply for bank accounts and other services, financial services. So identity theft is real and it affects us all. So the advice is to try and limit the amount of information you put out there in social media. Social media is important. It keeps you in touch with friends and family you haven't seen for years, and you have a big geographical distance between them, but it also exposes you. So keep your private information offline. In regards to online shopping, utilize the services of a legitimate and well-known and well-established website. Some of these more well-established websites may not necessarily carry the product or the service that you're looking for, but you do have websites out there that they may be running a legitimate organization, but their security precautions that they take in their back-end system is not sufficient. It not necessarily means that you can't shop with them, but or they might not deliver your product, but the level of trust that you have in them might not necessarily be what it should be. But online shopping, there's a service called the Better Business Bureau, which a lot of these websites utilize now. And what they do is the Better Business Bureau will evaluate the website and organization for the level of legitimacy, the care that they take in protecting shoppers' data, and they will give them a rating. Their rating system is also based on the number of complaints that consumers logged with the Better Business Bureau. So so websites that are highly rated by the Better Business Bureau will have a tag on them, BBB. You may have seen that before. So that's a good way of evaluating a particular website if you choose to shop with them. Protect your credit card information, especially online. Don't just plug it in any website. And remember to log out of websites after you finish using them.
In the past, we would simply, go into a bank and we would sign mountains of documents to purchase a house or even a car. Now there are opportunities for you to use digital signatures where you can do these transactions online, which now makes it even more challenging to police, because how do we know that you are the actual individual online that is adding a signature to a particular contract or an agreement? So it is very important for consumers to understand and to have a better education on protecting ourselves in these regards.
Today is Nelson Mandela Day, and the anniversary of his birth is a chance to reflect on the life and legacy of a historical great. A legacy of volunteerism, community service, dedication to fighting poverty, and promoting social justice for everyone. The main objective of the day is to empower communities everywhere and to encourage individuals to take action to help change the world for the better. We all have the power to make that difference. So start today and you will see how our collective effort can truly change the world and build our country as the place of choice to live. The Mandela Day campaign message is, Nelson Mandela has fought for social justice for 67 years. We're asking you to start with 67 minutes. And in Mandela's very own words, it is time for the next generations to continue our struggle against social injustice and for the rights of humanity. It is in your hands. As always, we want to thank you for staying with us on Jamaica Magazine. But if you missed anything from today's show, then you can watch it all again on our website or on our YouTube channel. And while you're browsing through your own Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, be sure to stop on our pages. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Theodore Henry. You take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.